Hello, and welcome to episode number 6 of Quilting on Caffeine. My name is Christine, and I'm so happy that you are joining me here today. I have recorded this now, I think, 5 times. The pollen is thick in the air. There's construction going on outside. And we're going to roll with it this time, whether or not it works. So what I'm drinking, what is left of my drink at least, after 6 tries at the intro, is a Starbucks cold brew with vanilla sweet cream. Just a jug that you get from the supermarket. It's a complete indulgence, but it is cold brew season here, for sure. It was 90 degrees here yesterday, at least that's what my thermometer said, which is way too hot for the end of May. Did I say it's May? It's May. I'm telling you. So many attempts to start this. Too many attempts, but we're going to go with it. So yes, I'm drinking Starbucks cold brew. It's like my 3rd one, which means I should be able to remember what happened 3 takes ago, but I don't. It's in my little mason jar instead of a mug. And I would have topped it off for this take, except for the fact that we have reached max capacity on cold brew at this point. When I'm not here, doing a very interesting job of recording an intro, I am over on Instagram as at Modern Little Me, or over on the blog world at www.modernlittle.me. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making it through that, if you did. Behind me, I have my work in progress Netherlands quilt. I am almost 100% sure I've shared this. I know I've shared it on social media. I'm pretty sure I shared it here too. It is the quilt that keeps growing and going and not stopping. It's becoming ridiculous how many times I've stopped at my little local quilt shop for background fabric, because just when I think I'm done, I decide I'm not, and I decide I need more negative space in there. And now I'm deciding I need less negative space, so now I need to go back and make more blocks. But I love it. I do love it. And that's what's up there, but that's gotta, we have to wrap that sooner rather than later, because enough is enough already with that. But we'll come back to this in a little bit. I'm actually wearing a Me Made object. I have totally missed all of Me Made May because life was just chaotic, and that's okay. Not every Me Made May I'm gonna make. And I would probably be wearing one of my sewn garments, but not today. I'm wearing the ranunculus sweater that I knit in Annabelle Williams and a Rowan mohair, I believe. And it's super soft and super light, so while it is much cooler today, it is the perfect top. And I do love it. So why don't we kick off with knitting, since I started that right here. So this is my one finish for the month, and I actually blocked it and everything. I'm so proud of myself. So, you know, when I finish one thing, that means I get to start 3 other things, because that's how I work in this world. So I actually immediately cast on 3 other things. I had some spin cycle yarn that I had picked up intending to do the Cinnabar shawl by Andrea Mowry, and that just was not, after like frogging it 6 times, I decided it was not meant to be for me. So I had these on hand. And then my local quilt shop also happens to be my local yarn store. So I went and I was able to pick up this little one to go. And I cast on the Lewisian, I think I'm saying that right, the Lewisian shawl, which is a fun little colorwork shawl. I thought I had printed the front page with the beautiful photo of it, but I don't think I did. So I will link to it, not that my printer is all that great, but I will link to it below. You can kind of see it here, I hope. So it's a fun color work project that's actually done with one, the way it's in it is one color at a time, which, you know, this is my year of color work and curves for quilting, so I felt like that would be a fun challenge, and it would use up some stash that I had that, I mean, I couldn't let that just sit any longer, because it's beautiful. I also immediately cast on, finish one short sleeve shirt, immediately cast on another, the summer sweater by Petite Knit. So I've got this one. I've finished the yoke and I'm now up to knitting the body, which is just a knit in the round, which we'll see if I could keep up with it. Can you hear my little knitting bag crinkling? And that's just with some cotton cashmere by Rowan, which is so soft. And that is a neutral for me. And then I crack myself up. Andrea Mowry is doing her Memorial Day hat knit along. There's like actually like a nice cute little name that she has for that that's totally escaping me. But every year over Memorial Day weekend she has a knit along for a new pattern, a hat pattern, because you know we're not all going to be able to knit a sweater over Memorial Day weekend. This year it is Flicker and Flame. And it's a beautiful color work pattern that I just loved. So I picked up these two yarns for that. This is a Primrose Hill yarn, and this is a Juniper Moon Farm. Sorry. So I'm going to be casting that on this week. Full disclosure, I bought this yarn last week. I came home, I cast it on, and I've already actually knit a hat. But for whatever reason, and I don't actually know the answer to this because I'm a newish knitter in this sense, even though I did swatch it. And it worked. The needles that were in the pattern were correct for my gauge. My swatch at least. When I knit it, it knit more like a little beanie than, it's a very snug beanie instead of a not so snug slouchy hat. So I'm actually gonna cast it on for the actual knit along, you know, with the right timing this week. And size up my needles. I had thought about sizing, like adding in another color work repeat in there. And while that would give me the correct width or circumference, or whatever that is that goes around your head, circumference, diameter, whatever that measurement is, while that would be correct, I still wouldn't have the depth to make it slouchy. So I think that by going up a needle size, and instead of using 3s and 5s, if I go up to 4s and 6s, I should be good. I do not have 4s and 6s. That's like toothpicks to me. So I'll pick those up and then I'll cast on. I think. We'll see. So I think that's it with knitting. I mean, that's a lot for knitting. I feel like I've done nothing since I've been here last. because so much of my life has been family, house, garden, child related. But in actuality, I feel like I did start a lot. I'm really good at starting. I'm not really good at finishing. But I did finish something. Well, I finished this, but I also finished the quilt I was binding last time. So the Drunkard's Path is finished, completely bound. I am going to put, I was going to say I'm going to put a link, but I actually think that once I finish talking about it, I'll pop a photo up here. And then maybe, actually, I haven't taken photos yet, so maybe I'll do that this afternoon. And then I can link to a blog post and show it in here. I love this. I love this. This is my new favorite finishing technique, and I'm actually really upset that the other one I put the binding on to machine bind it, which means that it's attached to the back first, and then you fold it over and you sew it onto the front to finish it, because I feel like that would have been another one to really embrace not only this finishing technique, but also to embrace this exact thread, because I have orange polka dots on the back of that one. It's right over there, which is why I keep looking off to the side. But I love how this came out. So I love the front. It's a faux Drunkard's Path, which means that I cut out a circle. I used a circle template. I started this like years and years ago before I had a cutter of any sort. I do use a Cricut Maker occasionally, and that would have made this go a lot quicker rather than using a piece of cardboard for my circle. But that's what I did, because that's what I had. And then I cut out a slightly bigger square, and then I diced them and rearranged, diced them in 4 and rearranged them. Oh, look. You can kind of see the center right there. And then I appliqued them. I glue basted them, and then I appliqued them on using this, which I think I've talked about in the past. But now it's bound. I backed it with a flannel sheet. And it's done. It feels really good. This has been so long in the making that while I was finishing it up, I was like, oh my God, this has to go live somewhere else, like immediately afterwards, because I'm so sick of it. But in reality, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up, or hang it up. Actually, I don't wrap my quilts. Hang it up and put it into storage until the fall, because it's flannel backed, and pull it out in my fall rotation. So, and then I'll decide if it needs to go live somewhere else forever. It has my little label on it, which I love. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that's done. And in the middle of all of this insanity that was my life, with work deadlines and school deadlines and birthdays and special days and all those other things that fall in May for our family. So first of all, we're going to take a moment, and I am going to pop the Drunkard's Path in below. Nope, right in here. Slice it in. There you go. So that's the Drunkards, the faux Drunkards in all of its glory. That's a whip I can cross off of my list. That's way too long. And then in the midst of everything, as I was saying, in the midst of everything my family has going on, I started, sewed, and finished this top. This is the county fair pattern. I am totally spacing on who the designer is for that. I will put a link in the show notes though, promise. And I'm also going to pop up a picture of that full-size quilt top right now. Cute, right? So this was a quilt in a day. It was literally, I started slicing and dicing. Let me rewind. It calls for 1 layer cake or 2 charm packs. And I happen to there's certain fabric lines that I need all the fabrics for. And this line is by Christina Camelli. And I just, from the second I saw it, I loved it. I kept coming back to these charm packs, but I'm in this like, I will buy no more charm packs, which will be hysterical when we get to the next vlog, because I think that after this, I'm going out and actually picking up 2 more charm packs from 2 different lines. But this one I loved. And finally I was like, you know what? I just need to like reverse engineer this. So I grabbed the 2 charm packs and then turned and looked at my, other little quilt shop owner and was like, what can I do with this? And she goes, I know what you can do with this. She gave me the county fair pattern. I cut up my triangles, or I cut up my squares and my background fabric. And I don't know if you can see, but that's actually like a tone on tone little, let's pull up a spot where you have a prayer of seeing that. A tone on tone print, which just fits the vibe of this. Cut it one night and then sewed the whole thing together the next day while my kids were in school. So I actually had a finished quilt top 24 hours later, which is unheard of for me, at least. I mean, nuts. This never happens. I needed a win in life. I don't know what else to tell you. I needed something bright and happy. And while it's a little more rainbowy than I tend to go, it was enough off rainbow to speak to my soul. And I used up some fabric that I had on hand too, because the quilt shop also had some yardage. So I'm going to use that for my backing, because I picked that up randomly, as one does when in a quilt shop. But yeah, so it called for 2 charm square packs, and I haven't even used all of I definitely needed the 2 charm square packs to make all of the blocks as I wanted them to be. I did not use all of the charm square packs up. So I actually have stashes of pre-cut squares that I trim up for my scraps every so often, because one day I'm going to do something amazing with them. I just don't know what it is yet or when that will be. But I'm going to take those remnants and slap them into the 5-inch box, because I mean, that's what makes a scrappy quilt beautiful, is just an assortment from every different line and style. So that I'm calling a finish, even though it's just the top, because it was a top in a day, and I'm growing my hair out, so it's very obnoxious, and I apologize because I'm at it all the time, because I'm just not used to this much hair. But it's a quilt top in a day, which that's not my life. I know lots of people who can do it. It's not me though. Almost finished is that boho batik quilt that I brought up in my whips last time, that I talked about putting a binding on last time and the time before. And I've put the front on, and I just need to sew I've put the binding onto the back, and I'm slowly sewing it on the front. I don't know why it's such slow going. I feel like when I machine bind my quilts, it's like zip zam dum. And this is not for whatever reason. And I think that's because I'm trying to go really slowly and intentionally with it because I'm not sure where it's going or what's happening with it. So I want it to be done to the best of my ability currently, which means that in hindsight, I should have traditionally bound this sucker, but I'm not ripping it out now. I'm definitely not ripping it out right now. So we'll just take it slow and steady. It's right over there. Still right over there, just like it was last time. Slow and steady and try to... I mean, it'd be great if I could wrap that up this week. The things that trip me up are hysterical sometimes. Want to list. So I want to finish that. We'll start with that. I want to finish the boho batik. It would be great if I could come back and have that to pop up on the screen next time. I have to finish this. I mean, I don't have to. Well, I kind of do, because I've got maybe half a yard of solid left, and I know that there's only about like 2 yards left on the bolt at the quilt shop. And while they have another bolt of it, I've had bad luck with dye lots between bolts before on my solids, so I have everything I really need for it, I think. I hesitate as I say that because, I have these little... No, I can make it work. I wish I had a bit more of this. Can you see that? Yes, you can. This mustard solid, but I don't. I don't know. I'm kind of winging this. I'm not going from a pattern. And I know what I want it to look like, and it's almost there. It's just not exactly there. And part of that could just be me looking at it for too long, but I also can't take it down at this point. Like, also, how did it get so big? I don't know. It's close. I want to work on it this week. What else do I have on my list? Oh, I have a new thing on my list. Can't finish anything without start. Actually, that's not true. So I finished binding that quilt. I did that top, which technically counts as a start since it didn't exist last time I was here, but I think I'm just gonna I don't think I've really started any new big projects. I've not finished anything really besides that binding and that top. I need to finish a little bit more. I need to quilt, like long arm, like nobody's. Like, I need to get on that because I'm gonna blink and June's gonna be gone, and then I'm gonna have 2 kids here all day, which is not good for my productivity level at all. And while we do have camp still looks different this year, and there's just not enough camp. And it's exhausting to entertain kids all day. But I also, on my want to do list, I picked up this cute little pouch pattern. It is the Seemingly Sane pouch by Courtney. Oh gosh, Courtney's. We'll call her Courtney C because I'm not going to be able to pronounce that last name. but she's seemingly sane on Instagram and on Etsy. And then I picked up this cute little prepackaged kit from Stitch Supply Company. So these feel like great end of the year school gifts. I have a lot of people in my boys' lives that go out of their way to go above and beyond for them. And they need that, and I need that, and we all need the support. So I like to give them a gift that's like has thought that goes into it, and time, and isn't just something I pick up at the store or buy a gift card to, although I will probably put like a gift card to our local cafe in town or something fun that, you know, by this point I know their supports well enough to give them something unique within, you know, gift card wise in here. But I thought, like, how fun is this? How fun is this pouch? So I would like to try whipping that up this week and see if I'm crazy for wanting to make like 12 of them. In like the next 3 weeks. Yeah. Because we're exactly a month out from... Ooh. I didn't realize that. We're a month away from the end of school, which I know is really late. I know that. I know that here in New England we run later than a lot of school districts. I know, like, my friends' kids down in South Carolina are getting out this week, as are several other districts, I'm sure, but I'm not ready for that. Yeah. And then I need to clean and organize the sewing room that you can't see because your back is to it, and that's intentional. But I feel like, yeah, I do much better productivity wise when my environment is at least clear. And I've been putting this off for a month because first I had to finish the yearbook, and then I had to do teacher appreciation gifts, and then it was special days for everybody, meaning birthdays and Mother's Day, and Father's Day is coming up, and, you know, all those days, both Hallmark and like actual, you know, events like births and anniversaries and stuff like that. And so I have piled things everywhere, and I just can't cope anymore. So I think that what I'm going to do is try to clean up this room, organize this room at least a little bit. I have 4 bins over here just waiting to be filled. They're completely empty. So I feel like that will help me. I need to do the same, unfortunately, in both kids' rooms, because I've said this 4 times. I've realized that it was 90 degrees yesterday, so no need to be taking up the room with sweatpants and sweatshirts and hats, like, because what happens is they can't find the clothes that are seasonal, and so while they are looking for them, they pull out their clothes and they drop it, and they pull out their clothes and they drop it. I love them dearly, but so maybe that's what those bins will be for, is to get their out of season clothes packed up and downstairs. Because Mama just can't do laundry anymore. Oh, and then one other thing that I'm doing this week for sure. Sarah Watts, who some of you might recognize that name from Ruby Star Society. She's one of their designers. She also is the person artist. I don't know how we want to describe her. I should have looked that up. She's behind Crafted Moon, and I signed up for her free class on bullet journaling for creatives because I'm fascinated by bullet journaling. I have attempted bullet journaling several times and I have failed. So I'm excited to see what she has to share with us. And I actually did the add-on question and answer time because I benefit from lists and I benefit from the mental dump onto a piece of paper that I can see. I still use a paper calendar because I can't function off of my calendar on my phone. I'm very visual. I need to see it. I need it laid out. So if she can somehow unlock how I could be successful at bullet journaling, I'm very interested in that. And since I have a notebook thing, it's like a joke in my family. I have a thing for notebooks. I actually have like 4 bullet journals, meaning 4 A5 size dot grids, like empty here, ready to go because I would love to use them. So maybe this is it for me. Maybe. But it would be like, can you feel like the weight of the disaster surrounding me? It feels very chaotic and very unorganized, as this podcast probably does to you because I've had 3 cups of cold brew. But that would be lovely. And next time, which has to be sooner rather than later, I realized I have some books, some cool quilting books, newish, and not so newish, to talk about that I've been enjoying. Because while I haven't been actually quilting much, I feel like I have been deep diving, maybe, into quilting, reading about quilting. Not even reading. Looking, researching modern quilting. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I feel like I spoke really fast. I apologize for that, if that's the case. I guess we'll find out when I edit. I'm posting it, regardless. I hope it wasn't too bad, though. I do appreciate you being here with me. If you have any questions for me, put them down below. Or if you have anything that I brought up here that was just confusing more than clarifying, which is a possibility, you can also put that down below. Otherwise, I'd say drink up and quilt on like I normally do, but I think that I need to cut off the cold brew. I need to clean up instead of drink up. So that's what I'm off to do. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that your week looks as beautiful as our forecast is. And I hope that you guys get some making done. See you soon. Bye.